Good afternoon and welcome to Kalani Park for the BC Men's CDI Premiership Final today. UBC Thunderbirds kicking off to Burnaby Lake Rugby Club. At the reception is Jackie Goody, number 12 for BLRC. Roxon passing deep to Riki with a probing kick downfield. The ball bounces, recovered by Connor Hamilton. Plays in Andrew Coe, puts a kick into territory. Behind the head of Brian Murphy. Ball kept in play, into center field, into Gareth Marsden. Goody on the attack, soundly met by the UBC defense. It'll be a common occurrence today. These two teams battle it out in the CDI Premiership Final today. First penalty of the game. Good afternoon, my name is Mike James, and I'm here today with Gabriel Fulcher.
Hi, Mike.
How are you doing?
Thanks for having me.
Gabriel's the new coach of the BC Bears. He'll be our color commentary today. Your thoughts on the game on hand today, Gabriel?
Yeah, I think it's we've got a fascinating contest. There's two very good sides, clearly the best sides in the tournament so far. But a very different way of playing the game, I think. I think you can expect a fairly direct approach from Burnaby Lake. They got some big carrying centres in Goody and Dolasau. UBC will like to put some pace on the ball. They'll want to keep the ball moving as much as possible, and I think that's going to make it a very interesting contest.
Big thumping hit from Ryan Ackerman on Callie Martinez. We've just had a absolutely hard-thumping final in the Okanagan Springs First Division. Surrey, Abbotsford winning in overtime. So the tone has been set. It's a beautiful day at the field here. Very, very numerous crowd. Ideal conditions for rugby. Penalty here against James Riki. Referee Chris Asmus not agreeing with the body height of the tackle, and we'll have the ball in the hands of Theo Soder for UBC, who's going to kick to touch.
A little bit unlucky on the kick and chase there from Burnaby. It was a huge chase and a massive hit in the midfield on the UBC midfield, and Burnaby a bit unlucky not to capitalize on that.
And the first line out of the day, UBC's throw in. Looks like Chris Taylor will be throwing the ball in. Today's referees are Chris Asmus, touch judges Jivan Dhaliwal and Dave Smorchevsky. Can't play rugby without the referees, so thank you to the BC Referee Society. Unbelievable weekend of finals at McDonald Park in Victoria as well. Other finals being played. We've had a full slate of finals here today. Play continues after the UBC knock-on. Burnaby forwards putting the drive on, able to keep their feet. Been brought to ground here. We'll come back to the scrum.
This one going Burnaby's way. UBC showing their intent earlier on. They're very, very dangerous from the set play. They score a lot of tries from set play. That one straight from a line out, bringing the short side winger in. Unfortunately, the ball going down for UBC, and Burnaby with a good opportunity now from halfway.
I'm a big fan of the use of the blindside winger as a strike play, and it's not often used.
Well,
Didn't quite come there.
The thing about this UBC team is the back three are, all three of them are very dangerous. They can all score from 60, 70, 80 meters. So I think any chance they've got, they're going to try and get them into space.
Looks like Doug Breeden of the Burnaby Lake Rugby Club is just taking a knee down, getting some medical attention as the game continues.
Interesting Burnaby tactics early on. They appear to be very much trying to get position in the UBC half. They've kicked the ball 2 or 3 times already. That's an intent from my point of view. They want to start this final down in the UBC half.
First scrum of the game. This is going to be an interesting aspect. Burnaby Lake having a very competitive scrum that likes to attack on both sides of the ball and has been victim or favored on both sides from referee interpretation. So it'll be interesting to see how the refs play the scrums today.
Yeah, Luca, Lackner, and Ackerman in the front row for Burnaby Lake. They've been dominant all season. For my money, they're a very powerful scrum. They're very organised, and they will see this as being a huge part of today's, a huge positive for them in the scrum. They're seeking dominance here.
UBC's missing their normal starter, Alex Mascot, who received, unfortunately, 3 yellow cards and had to sit out the final, but got Callie Martinez in at hooker, who's an additional prop, so that may help remedy. Oof, big inside crushing tackle on Brian Murphy. James Thompson from UBC. Play continues. Vikalani with a carry. Inside the UBC half. Play continues in the hands of Luca. Going to continue forward with the ball. The forwards there. Roxon's going to get this out. UBC present on defense. Riki with an inside option. Brought to Sorrell. First touch for De La Salle. Big hit in the play. Lots of physical intensity today. Angus Fisher tackled. We're going to come back to an initial offside.
Some good work by Burnaby on the bust there. As we said, busting through the middle really is their game, and we can expect to see a lot of that today. But they've created a bust there, and with young Vicolani at number 8, he's a really he's showing himself to be a really special ball carrier, and he's already had an impact, and they've earned themselves a kick a goal.
What are your thoughts on the UBC side?
Yeah, I mean, the UBC, they've got quality all over. They're very, very organized. As we've already said, they're very good on the set play. Expect them to look to put tempo in the game, keep the ball moving, and get the ball into their strike runners. They've got 2 or 3 very, very dangerous carriers. They've got a lot of pace out wide with Andrew Coe and Maynard Kulkan in particular. Those guys can score from anywhere. Expect them to look for very quick ball from breakdown and keep the ball moving and not allow the Burnaby defense to settle.
First penalty kick of the game's gone left for Burnaby Lake. We're going to have a 22-meter dropout for UBC. Always important to take those points when you can in a playoff game.
Yeah, I mean, it's 5 minutes into a final. You got a kick in front, pretty much in front of goal. You want to take the 3-point lead there.
Long dropout. Recovered by Roxon. Puts it in the play of Marsden. This is a, whoa, good up-ended tackle by Thorpe and Martinez. Play continues with McAllister. Brought to deck. UBC present at the breakdown. Play continues in the hands of Goody Goody. Long, wide pass to Angus Fisher. Hasn't breached the UBC line. Recovered by Martinez. A ball gone astray from Burnaby Lake. In the hands of Taylor, playing the short side. Thumping tackle from Vicolani. We're going to come back to the initial knock-on from Burnaby Lake. It's going to be a scrum UBC.
Seeing some errors here in the early stages from both sides, to be honest. I think that maybe both sides are looking to settle down a little bit. We've seen an error there from Burnaby. They're just pushing a little bit left and right, allowing the UBC to come hard in defence, and then a counter error from UBC. So maybe it's early doors nerves for both sides a little bit here.
Certainly into the feeling out process in the early moments of the game here. UBC in a good offensive position. Nobody down here on the blind side. Burnaby Lake putting the second shove on. Kulkan comes down the blind side, but they play open into the hands of Thompson. He's dangerous on the inside line. Ball's been stripped. Played on, gone backwards. UBC in control. Edging into the 22-meter Burnaby Lake. Long pass out wide. Sauter to Cole. Out on the wing. Soundly tackled by Murphy. Really pushing the fringes here, UBC. And there's a penalty in the shadows there in favor of Burnaby Lake.
That's a huge get out for Burnaby Lake. It's a huge penalty win. We probably saw UBC on the front foot for the first time. Their ability to get that ball wide to the outside, which they did. Burnaby, to their credit, had the width to cover it, and they've earned themselves a penalty kick. That's a really good outcome for Burnaby from UBC's first proper attack.
And the kick's gone into touch here. Burnaby Lake's line out. First throw in. Got good potential line out here, Burnaby Lake. A number of jumpers. Craig McLaughlin has been a good go-to spot for them. Former varsity volleyball player converted into rugby. Developed at Burnaby Lake. We've got a legitimate vertical and good height. They throw to the back. Over the top. Free ball. Recovered by Sandover Best. Tackled. Riki's there contesting. Arms up from Asmus. Advantage being played. Thompson. In the thralls of the Burnaby defense. Play continues. Sandover Best. Playing through. We've let that play. Neil Courtney recovering a tap through. It's absolute chaos there. No one is in control of the ball. We're going to come back to the original penalty for UBC in front of the post.
Yeah, still a little bit scrappy. UBC got a little bust on the interior there, but not keeping the ball to hand. You can see their intention. They want the ball moving. They want the ball played out of hand. They don't want to allow Burnaby Lake to get settled in defense in any stage. You know, maybe they probably realized they had the penalty and they were able to play a little bit more extravagantly there. But here's an opportunity for UBC to take the lead. Burnaby had a chance, they missed theirs, so here's an important kick.
It's going to be Brock Stoller from UBC lining up the kick. Incredibly successful goal kicker. Kicked the winning points in the BC Bears game against Uruguay last year on tour. He's been consistently a points maker for the UBC Thunderbirds.
Yeah, I think he's a key guy for UBC. I said they got a lot of pace out wide, but Brock Stoller not only offers something, he's a big physical athlete, but this guy can really kick goals.
The strike is up and it's through. No question, first points of the game in this final this year, 2016 CDI Premiership for the Roundsville Cup, UBC 3, Burnaby Lake 0. UBC looks the part. They look like a textbook high-level rugby team, good athletes, well-trained.
Yeah, I think you'd be very impressed with UBC's shape. I've watched them 3 or 4 times this season. They build very, very good shape. They're very organized. And their skill sets, I think, tend to be, they've gone unbeaten. Their skill sets tend to be that little bit better. Their ability to pass under pressure, their ability to execute all of those plays.
Play resumed to the big, long, left-footed drop from Riki, deep in UBC territory, returned into Burnaby Lake territory. Some aerial ping-pong going on here. Kick lands in front of Colcan. I believe it's Colcan. No, it's Stoller. On the counter-attack, getting towards the center of the field. Tackled by Burnaby. UBC in possession. Bodies flying. Counter-ruck. Play continues. Bodies falling down. Referee's letting them play. I think ball's in the hands of Taylor. Tackled by McLaughlin. Sandover best to extract. Kick through to Theo Sauter into the hands of Gareth Marsden. We see some space behind the defense. Long probing kick. Touched by Andrew Coe. Plays deep into the 22. A shank banana kick that does find touch. About 10 meters outside the 22-meter.
It's interesting to see UBC, even though they were only 5 or 10 meters behind halfway, they're seeking those territorial kicks into the Burnaby half again in this early stage of the game. They're not seeking to carry the ball. Typically, they're a side that will run the ball from anywhere. They're seeking a bit of territory, and on that occasion, they've come out. They've come out second in the territorial kickoff.
Mr. Asmus awards a yellow card to Gareth Marsden. Cards have been a common theme today. The referees are taking no flack. So Burnaby Lake will be a man down here for the next 10 minutes. Play will continue at the line out here for UBC. Oh, penalty. Fans obviously not in complete agreement. Don't believe there's arms to complete the tackle.
Yeah, I think he's called it from where the ball landed as a late inappropriate hit.
UBC's just going to push it further down the line here into Burnaby Lake territory, just inside their half.
Here's a great opportunity for UBC. This is what they like. Set plays from 40 meters out. We should see something off the training park here.
They throw to the back. Both teams haven't missed at the end of the lineout. Ball scrambling into the hands of Thompson. Rolls off a tackle. Initial advantage given. Some high tackle position. Sandover best into the hands of Connor Whale. UBC alternating directions. Sandover best puts it to the boot into the hole in the hands of Fisher. 2 UBC Thunderbirds chasing down. Colcan with a bobble, unfortunately. UBC knock on. We'll have a scrum here for Burnaby Lake.
That was a real chance for UBC. It was an opportunist kick over from the line-out area. I don't think they really realized how much that was on. Pity they couldn't keep it to hand. I think they could have scored off that if they collected.
Marsden, I know, covers so much space, and not being on the field, that's going to leave a lot of space behind that UBC potentially could take advantage of.
Yeah, Marsden's been a leading player for Burnaby Lake this year as well. He's got a lot of quality to his game. He's got a lot of understanding.
But I think Burnaby will be happy to play the scrum here. It's played on into the hands of Vigilani. Soundly met, but able to produce the ball back. Good physical density from the young 19-year-old number 8. Into the hands of Riki. Puts a high kick, not too far. Does land in front of Coe. Coe's on the counter. UBC's got 4 out wide. Out to the wings. Stoller released. He's outside the edge. Pushing down the touchline. One man to beat. Missing a fullback. Picked up by Sandover Best. Soundly tackled at Burnaby Lake, but UBC maintains possession right on the goal line, and they score a try.
Yeah, that's what you don't want to do to UBC. The clearance kick has just gone into center field. You want to keep those, you either want to make touch or you want to keep it close to touch. That ball's gone short and straight down the middle to Andrew Coe, and that's not the kind of the clearance you want to make, because Coe and his wingers will punish you from there, as we've just seen.
Speedy recycling by UBC, so close to the goal line. Wonderful recycled ball for the try. I'll put 8 on the board for UBC with Stoller at a chance to kick the conversion. Gabriel, what can you tell us about our BC Bears upcoming campaign in the CRC this year?
Yeah, so we're right at that point now. We're assembling a squad. We've got a warm-up game against the England counties coming up on the first Friday of June, followed by a few weeks preparation before the CRC in July. So, yeah, something, you know, being new to BC and having the opportunity to be part of the coaching setup. It's something I'm really looking forward to.
And Stoller puts it through. Excellent kicking.
A lot of these players in the last couple of weeks, as the season's been sort of gathering momentum, we've seen a lot of them up their game, and it's very exciting. A lot of these guys you're watching here today, hopefully we'll get an opportunity to wear the BC colours this year.
It's always ironic when the weather improves, the rugby improves. Fast pitch, high skill.
I'm not sure that's ironic. I think that's just common sense.
Yeah.
No, my first Vancouver winter, I was surprised by the rain, like everybody, I'm sure.
Yeah. Riki with a dropout to restart the game. Long into the hands of, I believe that's Thorpe for UBC. Soundly met by Burnaby Lake defenders. Able to get a couple meters advance. Sandover Best with the ball. He's going to put it to boot in the box kick. High probing kick. Into the hands of Vigilani. He's bobbled it. Referee says play on. He's able to keep his feet. Big strapping lad. Roxon to Riki. The kick is on into space behind the UBC defense. Puts the ball into touch. With a line out here for UBC just outside their own 22-meter.
Yeah, it's well recovered from Burnaby Lake. You can see UBC again trying to kick deep to them. They're very aware that Burnaby's fullback Gareth Morrison's off the field. They're trying to capitalize as much as possible. Burnaby need to hang in here. They need to make sure they don't concede any more points until they get between now and getting their fullback.
We're gonna have a short man line out here. UBC with a 4-man. Not the straightest of throws, but they're gonna play on. They're gonna drive it. Forwards on forwards, balls at the back, into the hands of Sandover Best. Lots of time. You try the box kick. Roxon on the counter. Sandover Best escapes, releases Colcan, who's quite dangerous in the open field, but he's tackled there by Ryan Ackerman. UBC in possession. Ball plays on. Ball's gone backwards. Connor Whale with the carry. Tackled by Lackner. Martinez there to clean up. Very robust performance so far from Martinez. To the hands of Thompson. Puts it off the edge of the boot behind the line. Brian Murphy did the recovery. And it's just a scramble. Side steps Lesage. Murphy's in the loose, trying to find support. Able to keep his feet. Tackled by Townsend. Roxon moves the ball to Riki. There's numbers here. Goody on the inside angle. Is tackled. Ball's clean, picked up by Ackerman. Rolls himself back to present. Roxon, Riki. Inside options, Angus Fisher. Tackled around the ankles. Roxon again, the short side from the Collister. Releasing Lackner on the wing. Sandover Best at the tackle with Colcan. Angled runners, Vigilani. Right into the heart of some sound defenders there from UBC. Ball's come back. Roxon, Riki. Ackerman in midfield. The big prop, sidestepping defenders. Rolling over the gain line. Roxon to Riki again. De La Salle. Definitely going to be watched by the UBC defenders today. Ball scrambles back. And Mr. Asmus has called a knock on here for UBC. I think it's going to be a scrum for Burnaby.
A good passage of play by
Great
Burnaby.
passage of play,
It's
yeah.
all started from Brian Murphy. He's used his great footwork and a little bit of acceleration. He's gotten away and he's got his team on the front foot. And even with 14 men, you can see they were really building an attack there. And scrum right here, they've got a great opportunity to apply some pressure.
It's nice to see both teams able to play their own particular style here and express themselves in this CDI final.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Burnaby, once they get carried and once they get that set up, looking to get the big men. You see Ackerman carrying a couple of times, Vicolani coming in. Would like to see them bringing those big men in a little bit wider. Sometimes they're hitting very close into the UBC, a little bit close to the tackle. If they can get those men wider, they should get some soft shoulders.
Yeah. On the scrum, Burnaby on the edge. Looks like UBC is going to be penalized for not holding the push. Penalty here for Burnaby Lake. Within kicking distance, about 30 meters out. 10 meters right of the post.
Yeah, as we said at the beginning of the beginning of the show, this Burnaby scrum will be looking to get reward from the scrum, and that's the first direct reward they've got. They've got a kickable penalty directly from the scrum, and they'll be looking to wind up that pressure as the game goes on.
So Riki has been playing in the CDI for some time. He was the CDI leading point scorer in 2013. He's an Englishman who's represented Scotland schools and Irish universities.
Yeah.
And here he is in Vancouver. Gabriel, any comments?
Well, he's a nomad. He's fair play. He's wandering the earth. Maybe next where we'll see him play next.
He's got a great left foot boot when he connects well. And he's missed. I thought that was through, but my angle's terrible. Mr. Smorchevsky and Dhaliwal there to confirm. We'll have another dropout here for UBC.
Yeah, it looks like he's just pulled that. He's overkicked it and he's pulled it to the right of the right post.
Yeah, 6 points missed potentially from Burnaby Lake.
Yeah,
when we start adding those up at the end of the game, it's a contest of woulda, coulda, shoulda. Long dropout from UBC. It's bouncing into the hands of Goody Goody. He's going to try to sidestep, but he's tackled by Kulkan and Lesage. Luke on the pickup, tackled by Taylor. One other Thunderbird into the hands of Roxon. He's going to play a little wider with McAllister's, tackled by Thompson. Vicolani trying to break out, rolling the ground a bit soon, but the ball's presented back. Riki skipping Ackerman to put Delasau into space. He's trying to sidestep the second row. God forbid that ever happens. Roxon back inside to Batty. Dynamic runner, soundly tackled by Kulkan. Good tackle, but the arm is up.
Another good passage of play from Burnaby. They've punched a few times on the inside. They haven't met much success there. UBC have come forward and stopped the big men, but you can see what they've done. They've compressed the UBC defense, and then on the fourth occasion, they get the ball to the outside space where they get a bit of space for Delasau, and he looks like he can carry the whole way if he gets half a chance.
Yeah, he's dancing with the stars out there. We're going to come back to an original penalty. Mr. Asmus, Chris Asmus having a discussion with Charlie Thorpe, the captain from UBC. We're going to come back a bunch of meters here for the original penalty here, but it's going to be a penalty for Burnaby Lake. Riki's going to find touch. He's got a very solid left foot.
There's Gareth Morrison back on. That's a big bonus for Burnaby Lake now, coming onto the front foot.
So Burnaby at full strength. We're going to have a line out here right in front of us so we can actually see what's going on. Burnaby Lake throw in. Andrew Lackner at the throw. Former Burnaby Lake junior. Good numbers of players here being formed from the club itself. Breeden to McAllister on an inside option at the back of the lineout. Going to try and play quick. UBC present on defense. You can see that they just got so much time to get themselves organized. Riki to Vicolani, who's going to just do the Tongan sidestep and take it into heavy traffic. Not fast ball, but they're still making progress here. Breeden on the short side. Lots of space out wide if they can move it. Play short with Vicolani right in front of contact. Only about 3 defenders out wide here for UBC. Lots of time and space in the hands of Delasau against a front rower. He's going to probably beat him. Look inside to Fisher, who's tackled and unable to hold on the ball. Goody and Martinez there fighting it out. UBC possession. Sandover Best finding Anderko, moving the ball out wide to Thorpe, between the legs, knowing the time and space is out wide, into the hands of Theo Soder. Stoller, tackled by Batty, or Breeden. Penalty awarded UBC.
Yeah, Burnaby Lake just maybe need to think about being a little bit more patient there. Their game is coming together. They're getting those half busts, but when the opportunity, as you can see, UBC defense getting very, very compressed, and when the moment came, just maybe throwing the wide cutout pass allowed UBC the time to spread and make the tackle. Maybe if they just have patience, use each pair of hands along the way, I think,
sure.
and Burnaby need to hang in here. It's 10-0, it could be 10-6. They're doing fine. Yeah. I watched the semi-final last week between UBC and UVic. At this stage, it was about 25-0 to UBC. So Burnaby are right in this game. They just need to maybe be a little bit more patient and work that ball and not be afraid to keep it for long periods of time.
Yeah. UBC kicks that ball on a touch. We have a line out about 10 meters, about the 40-meter line from Burnaby Lake's goal.
Again, an opportunity for UBC maybe to pull something out of the playbook here. It'll be interesting to see what they do.
Both teams have been targeted in the back of the line out. Uncontrolled, Batty at the recovery, takes it into the sound over best, I believe. This is an opportunity. Ball in the hand of Ackerman, looking to release, but he's soundly tackled by Soder, but they didn't hold him on. He's on the loose. The Bulls busted through a bunch of defenders. UBC a bit on the back foot here. Present at the breakdown, though, very present. They're slow ball every time. Breeden soundly tackled again by Nakai Penny. Roxon with the show and go. Martinez there. Luca with the pick and go, going to the right side. But Mr. Asmus is going to come back. Advantage not taken advantage of, for lack of a better term. We're going to come back here for a penalty to Burnaby Lake.
Ryan Ackerman again, you know, they've got him into midfield charging. I don't know how many carries he's had, and he's had already, and it's only 15-20 minutes. He's been the pick of the forwards for me. UBC finding it very hard to put him down.
Been very active in the loose play, been very, very strong in the scrums as well. Burnaby Lake is going to opt to put some points on the board. Haven't missed the two previous attempts. Riki right in front of the posts. Sitting just outside the 40 meters, about 42 meters out, but straight ahead. Can't at least straddle it through the slot and get Burnaby's first points of the game today. Kick is up. Has he folded it? He's pulled it right. So another missed attempt. That's 3 missed attempts for Burnaby Lake. That's 9 potential points on the board. UBC haven't scored 10 points at every opportunity presented.
Yeah, those misses are starting to add up now.
It's a cruel sport, rugby, isn't it? It's cruel.
No,
cruel.
it is, and it's, you know, it is very harsh. It's a terrible, being a goal kicker, it's in a terrible position to be with.
Long drop out into the hands of Roxon. Moves it to center field in the margin. It's over his head, unfortunately. Vic Alani's there to play. He's going to go on the ramble. Straight through into Thompson. He's gone to deck. Roxon to Breeden. Looking to pass, but he's able to slide through. Good passage to play to Luca. Releasing the ball deep. Again, Ackerman trying to release the ball to Murphy. Passage to play with Props playing his centers. Back in, straight run to Breeden. Soundly met by Martinez again. Very, very robust in defense today, Calais Martinez. Roxon to Marsden. Trying to attack the side angle. Soundly tackled there by Sam Clark. Ball is there. It's Burnaby's ball, but it's not clean. We're going to come back here. Referee intervention. Not sure if the touchies have called something. Mr. Asmus is carding somebody. Did not discuss. Who's he sent off there? Is it number 18? Mm-hmm. Who I think is another. They just had a jersey replacement. If not, that's Riley Savard. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. No, there's been a replacement, and I did not see it. But play continues. Riki's just going to pound it off the park into the trees. Doesn't put it into the causeway.
Good possession game again from Burnaby, this time from their own half. Not afraid to keep the ball. And they're winning penalties, you know. Once they keep that ball and go forward, get the big men carrying, they're winning. See, UBC are giving them penalties. Now they've got a good position just outside the 22-meter line.
It's great to see both teams doing very well on attack and being able to enforce, put a stamp on their play. Blackner's going to put this ball up in the middle. McLaughlin coming up. Good two-handed clean take. Roxon again to Riki. Back line is deep. Riki's able to get through a gap. Fights to deck. Ball presented back through his legs. Slow, but it's coming along. McAllister. Soundly tackled by UBC. Ball presented quickly. Delasau. Lots of numbers in face, though. Riki trying to probe to the outside. Lackner to Vicolani. He's down the side. Unfortunately, he's put his foot into touch. Almost broke the French there, Gabriel.
Good play. Burnaby not too far away, so they've played a midfield return play. They've come around. They've come midfield with Riki. They've come around the corner and they've gone back to Vicolani on the touchline, hoping to create a mismatch, which they did. Just got a foot in touch, maybe 10 meters from the goal line.
Yeah. Good passage of play from the Burnaby Lake forwards. We've seen all their forwards carry the ball a lot here. UBC lineouts could be short, so close to the gain line. Lineouts haven't been super clean for both teams. Bit of nerves, but good to see they were in such a good game.
UBC especially, they've missed a couple of crucial ones, and both to the back. I think they need to think about changing it up now, bringing some movement and targeting the front area of the lineout. That's better for them.
Connor Hamilton with the take. Starting to be driven back. They're approaching the goal line here, but UBC will regroup. Burnaby Lake unable to get their fingers on it. Sandover Best with a kick. Wasn't a box kick, but went into touch, recovered by Brian Murphy. Able to release Marsden, shakes off a tackle from Thompson. Present the ball back, McLaughlin. Long pass to Goody. Delasau trying to shake through. Everyone's offloading. Play continues. No intervention from the touch judges, so we're playing on. Roxon to Delasau again into heavy traffic. He's being very well targeted every time he plays the ball. Ball's up for scramble as Kulkan this time. He's going to be dragged into touch. Dragged into touch right in front of us. We have a knock on here from Burnaby Lake. We're going to have a scrum UBC.
Again, the missed pass from Burnaby leading to the big hit on the outside by UBC. It's just giving them time, I think, you know, using the sets of hands and just keeping that direct style of play, I think, is going to suit Burnaby.
Burnaby's playing with confidence. If they could score some points, it would be more wind in the sail.
No, I think possession stakes, they're dominant. Yardages, they're probably dominant. And I think that's some of the clash of styles we spoke about in the beginning of the game. I think we can expect Burnaby to continue to dominate possession and yardage, but then UBC have that ability to score 7 points from nothing.
Okay, I figured it out. It was Neil Courtney who got who changed jerseys on us and has left the field. Taking off a second row, Connor Whale, and we're putting on somebody new here for UBC to play hooker. Martinez will slide over to loose head.
Martinez obviously can play both. He's a very competent prop and a hooker. So
I think it's Foster Dewitt in there for UBC.
Big pressure from Burnaby now. UBC
pressure
down
will be
to
on
7.
with the new guy. That front row's exploded up. They've blown the list. It's going to be a penalty here for Burnaby Lake at scrum time.
Yeah, so that's a big moment. UBC down to 7 in the pack. You can see Burnaby's dominance in the scrum starting to come through. The thing is now for me is Burnaby have got to make something on the scoreboard of this. They've had 3 chances already. This is it. They've had a great spell. They need to score.
They've opted to kick for touch, certainly within kickable distance, but they've opted to put the play on. About 10 meters out from the UBC line. Obviously going to be a crucial moment here for Burnaby Lake to win the ball in the lineout. And it looks like we have a substitution for Burnaby Lake. Brian Murphy is leaving us to be replaced by Adam Timler out in the wing. Lackner is preparing himself for the throw. Important moment here. McLaughlin overthrown, but recovered by Breeden. Again, both teams have an extensive case of nerves at lineout time here. Burnaby Lake's just going to go the pick and go route, in close to the UBC line. Big burly forwards. Beat a man down here. Picked up by Steve Batty, I believe. Into heavy traffic, UBC. Ball's presented again. They're going to spin around. Advantage here for UBC. That's Lackner. The elastic man rubbing over the line. Does he get the ball back? Does he get it over the line? We can't tell. Play continues. UBC present around the fringes, obviously. Try awarded, it looks like, on a pick and go there. Can't see the body who scored it, but Burnaby Lake scores.
Looks like Ackerman's come up with the ball. Nobody deserves it more. That guy's carried. He's been a huge carrier for Burnaby Lake so far. And Burnaby now, it's no more than they deserve to get a try, and they needed it. Since the yellow card for UBC, it's been all Burnaby Lake, and a very important phase of the game in terms of a momentum shift. Can't
help but express my pleasure being a Burnaby home kid with that score. But what impresses me most is that both teams are playing well, and certainly Burnaby is capitalizing on momentum here.
Yeah, it's a shame to see Brian Murphy leave the field there with what looked like a leg injury. He had a very promising opening quarter. He couple of good return runs from the kick, and he had one very clean line break. He was looking very sharp. It's a pity to see him leave the field.
Looks like an ankle or lower leg injury. Be interesting to see if Riki can regain some confidence on this kick.
Yeah, I think this is a big one as well. The slotting this would really get Burnaby Lake on the front foot.
I'm sure this might have stirred the beast at UBC. Riki is far right. Reminds me of why I don't play golf anymore.
Yeah, exactly. It looks a little bit like my hook, actually. Usually ends up in the trees. And no matter how hard you try and hit it the other way, the more you try to hit it to the left, the more it goes to the right.
Understood. So UBC in the dropout here, they're just putting a second ball out of play. Be interested to see UBC's reaction here if they've awoken the beast. Granted, they are a man down, but certainly they're in a game, as it should be in a CDI Premiership final. How many guys are there? We got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. I think we're good. So as the game wears on, it'll be important to see how the reserves can add positively to the game.
Yeah, the bench factor is always a big play in the final. And both teams have got some very interesting players to come in off the bench if necessary. Like you can certainly expect UBC to bring 3 or 4 or maybe even 5 guys into this game.
And play continues. Drop out into the hands of Vikalani. Soundly met by, I think that was Thorpe and Penny. It's a bold task tackling Vikalani as a goal. Ball's been spilled forward here. I think referees claiming UBC mitts in there, but ball spun out the backside. It's going to be a penalty here for Burnaby Lake.
So whatever was happening in there in the breakdown, Burnaby Lake are certainly coming out the better of it at the moment. They're winning a lot of penalties in the last 20 minutes of this game or so.
Bit of chaos there in broken play. I was checking my stat sheet and I missed what's going on, but it looks like Burnaby Lake is in possession. Vikalani soundly tackled again. What I like about UBC is their defense. They really target their guys in one high, one low, and complete the tackles. So very, very good play. Ball's not coming out. Roxon to Riki. Throws it to ground. We're going to come back here.
Yeah, it's very clear to see how UBC have prepped on their interior defense, that defense inside the first pass. They've prepared for a big assault there from Burnaby Lake on the inside, which is why we mentioned earlier that, and they're having a lot of success in their defense in that area, which Burnaby have got to think smart now and hit there a couple of times and then get it a little bit further into space, which they've done on a number of occasions effectively.
We're starting to see some real impact and density in the breakdowns here. We got another body down from UBC, it looks like. Just waiting a stoppage of play here. What's going to happen? So what are your thoughts on the CDI Premiership, a learning curve for you this year, Gabriel, with the UBC Old Boys?
Yeah, I guess I
Ravens.
didn't know what to expect really. I just arrived in September. I only arrived a week before the first game. As I said, coaching with the UBC Old Boys. No, it's been very. I've certainly learned an awful lot. We got knocked out of the quarterfinals in the end by UVic, but it was an interesting season. It's sort of, the pre-Christmas thing was there was a little bit of jostling, but then once February came around, there was some really good games, and I think it's built nicely. I mean, I think the quality of rugby we're seeing now, and the quality of competitiveness we're seeing now, it has moved a long way since the beginning of the season, and that's great to see. Because I think this competition, it really does need to provide the environment for a player who has, there's guys out like Andrew Coe or De La Salle. There's a number of guys out there who are being looked at closely by Canada, and this is a very important environment for them.
For sure. We're going to have an extended stoppage of play here for injury. Looks like the referees may have cited something that certainly evaded our knowledge up here in the booth. Chris Asmuth having a word with Anthony Luca, captain of Burnaby Lake.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but I think that might be Chris Taylor on the floor, I think. Is it the tight head prop for UBC? He's a key player for them, particularly today against a formidable Burnaby scrum. So the last thing UBC need is Chris Taylor leaving the field at this moment in time.
Well, certainly with the absence of Alex Mascot already, out for cards. Martinez haven't started here in the front row for them. Obviously something happened when he was on the ground. Conversations going on. It's been a lovely crowd here at Klahani. Today we saw the final of the Abbotsford-Surrey Okanagan Springs First Division. Went into 2 10-minute overtime periods. Abbotsford eventually overcoming and prevailing.
Yeah, it was an amazing game. It was tied after 80 minutes. I think it was 26-all. They played 2 10 minutes, and we had 3 more tries in the final 20 minutes. It was a wonderful game of rugby.
Beautiful day for it here at Klahani. Not sure if we're going to have some sort of ambulance enter the field here. Doesn't seem to be any effort to mobilize the player.
Yeah, it's hard even to see what it is or what part of his body, if it's his neck or his back or his shoulder. Just hopefully he gets up and he's okay.
Yeah. Well, right here, it's Chris Taylor. Obviously took a significant knock there in that last breakdown where he was on the ground or still on his feet, but it's crumbled the man. We hope to see play continue here in the first half action of this year's CDI Premiership.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to substitute him now. He looks a little bit shook. And he's a key guy. It's sad to see him lose. Sad to see him leave. He's a key guy for UBC, both as a prop, a ball carrier, and a leader. He's one of their key leaders in the team. So
very sound technical player.
Yeah, it's tough to see him leave the field in a final like this.
Just receiving some comments from the Twitter sphere. It's nice to see so many future and potential Rugby World Cup 2019 players on the field today in our CDI Premiership. Those comments are always appreciated because really it all starts at the club, at the university scene to migrate up into the higher levels. So we're going to Brock Stoller here with an attempt for goal. Bit left of the post, probably about 30, 35 meters out. Most of the markings in the field have been rubbed off today with all the rugby being played. The score being 10-5 for UBC. This reminds me of the Casada ruling. Long attempt, up and through the post. That'll bring the score to 13 for UBC. And that is the half, right in the waning moments. UBC taking an 8-point lead, the CDI Premiership. 13 points to 5. UBC over Burnaby Lake with another half to go.
Yeah, that was a big moment for UBC there. They've really, the second quarter was all Burnaby Lake. They just managed to get their try and close the gap to 5, and then UBC seemingly out of nothing managed to earn a kick at goal and stick it over. So I think, as you said earlier, Mike, the UBC have taken every single opportunity and points that's been offered
Deadly
them.
effective.
And that's been the difference. The difference is UBC have taken every opportunity. Burnaby have missed a couple, but everything to play for. This is a fascinating game.
Yeah. Burnaby unfortunately left a bunch of points on the table, but at the half it's 13-5. We'll leave you be, and we'll be back for second half action. We're good to go. Play about to return in this year's CDI Premiership Final. After the first half of play, UBC is up 13-5 over Burnaby Lake. Burnaby Lake having left lots of points on the board from ineffective kicking. UBC batting 1,000 every time they've been in the red zone. They've come away with points. It'll be interesting to see the reaction of both teams at the half and the passage of play to see in the second. Mike James here today, with Gabriel Fulcher.
The halftime, such an important opportunity, I think, for UBC. That second quarter was all Burnaby Lake momentum-wise. And UBC just stole a little 3 points at the end, and then they got the 10 minutes to sit down and get their heads together. Interesting to see how the momentum is when play resumes here.
For sure, UBC having not lost a game this year. So interesting to see a bit of self-belief here from the opposition in the final. Long kick here into the hands of Vikalani. Up high, soundly tackled again. Brock Stoller around the feet. Excellent form tackling here at UBC. Great skill set. Pick and go in Burnaby. Someone almost lost their head, but returns into the ruck. McLaughlin. Tackled by Hamilton and others. Roxon looking to push it out wide. 4 players out wide. Good present defense from UBC as usual. Goody into deck. Continue out wide to De La Salle. Defenders present, not a lot of time and space. He's thrown to deck. Who do we got here? UBC present on defense. Burnaby Lake trying to restart on the pick and go. Roxon out wide. Little jumpy on defense. UBC plays on Breeden Ackerman. Ackerman with a clean line break. Looking like Philippe Salah from the mid-'80s. Offloading to Gareth Marsden. Roxon, Riki, De La Salle. UBC a bit on the back foot. Up high to Goody. Not the best ball for Goody get his launch on. Gonna come back and play. It's Micha Gavorchin on at 19 for Burnaby Lake. We should have been a little more mindful of the changes. Strong carry, Riki. Ackerman again, who's been dynamite today. Belly bucks a couple guys to the deck. Roxon, McAllister, Marsden, soundly tackled by Colcan. Very strong physical presence on the wing for UBC with Colcan. Riki, Vikalani, cut off at the ankles. Burnaby maintaining possession. UBC present on defense as always, though. Long skip pass, De La Salle. Able to scramble through. Hamilton trying to time him on a jumper here. Ball lost in contact. Sandover Best coming down the short side. Into the hands of Lesage, I think. Tackled by McAllister and others. Ball is present. Sandover Best. Release the ball. Back inside of Callie Martinez. He's had a robust first half of rugby here. Sandover Best. Thompson. Theo Sauter. Spills the ball back. It's in play. It's gone backwards. Can't see who's in possession. I believe it's UBC. Sandover Best trying to extract it. Force himself down the short side. Ball kept in play there. I believe that's Neil Courtney who's come back on, wearing the 18 jersey today. Thompson dancing in front of the defense. UBC really starting to play well here. The prolonged passage of possession. Ball has gone to deck though. It's released in the hands of Lesage. In between Goody. Releasing it to Brock Stoller. Puts it to his foot. Ball is there right in front of us. Kept in play. Pressure's on. UBC maintains possession. Good defensive line present from Burnaby Lake, but UBC really trying to push the angle. Ball's gone over the top to the hands, over the head of Timler, and rolls out of bounds into the 22 of Burnaby Lake. I need to catch my breath.
Yeah, that's an exhausting passage of play. Some great stuff on both sides. Ryan Ackerman again, devastating in the midfield, running in the midfield as a prop for Burnaby Lake. He's going to be delighted with your little Philippe Sella comment.
Probably doesn't know who he is.
But UBC earning the turnover and showing some great technical proficiency, and then Theo Sauter just choosing to mix it up then and poke it into the corner. They got a good attacking opportunity here.
Line-out loss from Burnaby Lake with the Dogs' breakfast. UBC recovery. Advantage here for Burnaby Lake, I believe. Mr. Asmus having his arm up. Yeah, just another missed opportunity to win clean, secure ball in the lineouts. We've seen both sides a victim of that today.
Yeah, it's been a real problem area for both sides, and like here we are. It's beautiful. It's 20 degrees and there's hardly a breath of wind, and it's a sunny day, and there's no real reason for it. I guess there's a little bit of pressure of the game, and there's a little bit of pressure being put on from both sides. But yeah, the error count I think for both sides, or particularly for UBC, a little bit higher than they'd like.
Yeah, and I would imagine both coaching staffs on both teams would not be happy with the stats and the lineouts this weekend. Micha Gavorchin has come in at hooker for Burnaby Lake. Andrew Lackner being subbed off at the half. Any other dramatic changes here will be slow to counter. Looks like we have Nick Allen on for UBC at hooker. Neil Courtney moving to tight head wearing the number 18 jersey, and Callie Martinez in at loose head. Burnaby Lake scrum. Inside their own 22. They're obviously not going to want to play too much in this position. Good crab scrum into the hands of Vikalani. Soundly met, though. Obviously targeted by UBC. Very, very soundly met on defense. In the hands of Riki. Big left-footed Cook. Short, tight angle. Didn't even clear his own 22.
Yeah, Burnaby Lake may be a victim. They went for a big scrum, and it sort of twisted on them in the last second, and they actually ended up getting quite a scrappy ball from what appeared to be a dominant scrum. You can see they're going to have a go at the scrum now with Chris Taylor gone off for UBC. I sense Burnaby are really going to they're going to really smell blood in that area as they did then. But sometimes when you're in your own 22, you don't want movement. You just want a solid platform to get the exit kick away.
For sure. A substitution, a note here for UBC. Connor Wales looks like he's done for the day, to be replaced by Mike O'Toole. Again, a throw to the back. Every team that is thrown to the back has had limited success. Caught by Batty. Vikalani just breaks out. Got space here on the short side. Roxon trying to organize the troops with a box kick. It's up high, not very far, but it's going to be contested. Timler up, bounces back into the hands of Callie Martinez. He's going to think it's Christmas morning, having a bit of a run. Sanover best. DeSauter steps inside. He's able to get his hand in McLaughlin, but goody deflects the ball. UBC possession, advantage for UBC. Mr. Asmus putting his arm up. Advantage not played, but it's a straight arm penalty here. In front of the posts on Burnaby Lake's 22-meter UBC ball.
You'd have to expect Brock Stoller to stand up and nudge this one over just to stretch that lead out to 16-5. Again, yeah, UBC's lineout really failing today. Of course, their regular hooker, Alex Mascot, not in the lineup today, and maybe that's having a bit of an impact on it. And then again, the error in midfield. I have to say, Burnaby on the defense, though, they're rushing up. They've come up hard on Stoller. He's got a half a plus. But then they've managed to get the traffic in around him for the offload, and they've stopped the line break. That was a real opportunity for UBC to get a score, but you can expect Stoller to just pop this over for 3 more points.
Yeah, and another case in point in the red zone and walk away with points for UBC. We've got a great personnel at UBC here. Good young up-and-coming players, very athletic, good team camaraderie and good discipline. When you have Stoller who kicks the points, it helps the scoreboard.
And of course, I think they kicked their season off this year with a trip to the World Universities in Britain, where I think they got 3rd place, which is
a remarkable
which is a great achievement, really. Yeah.
Stoller successful with the 3 points, brings the score up 16-5. Both teams having stamping their authority in this game today. Score perhaps not a true indication of the dominance that you might perceive from UBC. Craig McLaughlin up there to retrieve his own drop. Burnaby Lake's own dropout. It's a free-for-all for balls. It's a collection of knock-ons. The referee's going to come back to the first one and give a scrum here for Burnaby Lake. Finals are won on defense discipline. Possession. It's been evenly matched in the possession game, but certainly UBC's had the upper score in effectiveness of scoring.
Yeah, I was going to say defense discipline important, but taking the points when they're there to be taken, and that's the only difference on the scoreboard at the moment.
Both scrums scrumming at a very low body height. Ball's been claimed back by Burnaby Lake, but it looks like UBC is going to be penalized for not being able to keep it up. It's a penalty against UBC. Now the 19 for UBC, is that Nick Allen? If that's correct, he's got both legs jumped, so he might be a hooker who jumps on the line out. Riki with a left-footed boot and a touch. It's going to be line out for Burnaby Lake after the penalty, just on the 22-meter line.
Again, interesting to see them opt for the kick down the line to get the attacking line out.
Yeah, not confidence in the kick, but UBC's countered well in the front. We're going to reset that lineup. Mike O'Toole is able to get off the ground there and contest with Tutusi Vikalani. Neither team's having success when going into the back of the lineup. Like to see some old school middle options here, but commentary's a bit biased for the second row. Taken the back by Doug Breeden into the hands of Luca, who's trying to release McAllister straight ahead into the UBC defense. Ball comes back quick in the hands of Riki, trying to sidestep inside the defense. He's soundly met. This could be a slow ball. Roxon to Ackerman again. Good quick feet for the big man. Steps inside. Playing with the flow in the hands of Vikalani. Tackled soundly by UBC. Roxon, Riki to McAllister right in the face of the defense. He's tackled and brought to deck. Roxon's going to probe to the left here. Numbers, but they're flat. Burnaby Lake in the hands of Vikalani, trying to make some magic happen. Organized defense. UBC stretched across the field very well, very organized. Ackerman able to hold on to that ball in the face of the defense. Quite remarkable. Riki, there is some gaps in the defense here. If Burnaby Lake can get themselves organized, it's a 3-on-2, but ball does not go to hand. Timler chasing it back. Off a UBC player. Bobble back and forth. We got bodies falling all over the place. It's going to be a penalty here to UBC. Right in front of the grandstand.
Again,
everyone gets to play in front of their moms today.
Again, Burnaby may be losing a little patience at a crucial moment. They finally made one stick at the back of the line out. A nice little peel, got them into midfield. They went the same way. Some good defense on UBC, but maybe caused Burnaby to lose a little bit of patience in the crucial moment. And that's it. It's executing those key moments. That's what, if Burnaby can start doing that even for the next 20-25 minutes, you can see them getting themselves right up on the scoreboard.
Not a big touch finder from UBC. Only moved up play about 10 meters. It's going to be UBC line out. Both teams just kind of getting organized. We might see some tactical subs coming here. Nolan Shelley replacing Angus Fisher on the wing for Burnaby Lake. He'll slip back to fullback, and Gareth Marsden will go up to wing, at least on first line defense. Play will resume. UBC line out. In the middle. Oh, but taken in the front by Craig McLaughlin. Burnaby Lake recovering a ball. UBC throw in. Martinez just kind of hanging around on the wrong side, but Burnaby Lake's trying to put them to the girls here. Advancing. Driving ball going to be breakout here with Gavorchin. If we can get this ball back quickly. Sorry, if they can get this ball back quickly. Roxon to Riki. UBC present on defense as always. Trying to go inside. He's found Ackerman, who's just going to go on a bit of a rampage here, deciding to shut off some defenders. Still on his feet. Offloads into McAllister. Soundly met by the UBC defense. Roxon, Riki. UBC up, present flat. Delasau on a 3-on-2. Can Shelley get it outside? He's destroyed by Colcan on the wing. McLaughlin's going to dive on the ball to maintain possession. Looks like an advantage here for Burnaby Lake. Might not have had arms in that tackle, but play continues in the hands of Goody. He's going to try and step some forwards. Ball's escaped him, but referee has finally blown the whistle.
It's a great read by Maynard Colcan. For once, it looked like Burnaby were using all the hands. It looked like they created the extra man, and Colcan has come in early, and he's got man and ball and stopped the attack. That looked like Burnaby might have been going over there.
Yeah. Good defensive choice by Colcan there. Finish your checks. Shelley was unable to get the ball outside. We're going to come back here for a scrum. Burnaby Lake ball. Shadows are starting to push in the one end zone here. So we wind down the afternoon of finals day. BC Rugby here at Kalani Park. CDI Premiership Final. Good banter with the fans here today. Just waiting for play to resume. Burnaby Lake scrum. Apologize for the dead timer, just waiting for play to comment on.
Burnaby backs lined up in an attacking formation, but at the same time, maybe they'll just go to squeeze on the scrum as well.
The push is on in the forwards. Roxon able to release quickly, trying to release good. He's able to get through the first line. Dump in somebody in the back to release. McAllister unable to hold on to the ball. The referee and defender in the way. UBC in the counterattack. Sandover Best, quick execute pass to Stoller, who plays the inside option with Coe. He's on the rampage. If someone doesn't make that tackle, he's going to go far. UBC with lots of men out wide. Cutting back inside from Thompson. I think that's Michael O'Toole on the carry. No, sorry, that's Connor Hamilton on the carry. Penalty here awarded. Penalty awarded, but put into play quickly by Andrew Coe. UBC on the prowl here. I believe that's Nick Allen on the go. Tackled by the cover. Coe back in play. UBC on the front foot. Burnaby Lake a little slow to get organized here as the game wears on. That's Mike O'Toole. Tackled by 2 defenders. Brought to deck. Sandover Best with options on both sides. He's going to play open. Theo Sauter's going to try to kick it through into space. Brock Stoller there with a great soccer push through into the hands of Nolan Shelley. Tackled by Brock Stoller. Burnaby Lake under pressure inside their 22, but they do have the ball. Vicolani at the base of the rock. He's going to pick and go here. Runs into Lesage and Callie Martinez. Callie Martinez present again on defense. Very active today. Roxon with a box kick. High right in front of us, above the roof line. Taken by Soder. Steps around Timler, but able to trip him up. Great offload, one hand by Thoder to Stoller. Able to beat Delasal. That was a remarkable passage of play. Neil Courtney soundly met on defense. Tackled by Misha Gavorch, and the ball spills back into Burnaby Lake. It's free play. Breeden releases Vicolani. He's off to the races. He's got Sandover Best with a big sting arm. He's got one more to go. That's Nakai Penny. Getting all excited here, the commentator. Finally pushed into touch.
Another exhausting passage of play.
UBC start running again.
Yeah, UBC looking to apply the tempo off scraps. Every time Burnaby make an error, they spill the ball. UBC is straight in looking to apply tempo. They're trying to run it into the wide spaces. They're tapping and going. They're getting creative, and it nearly paid off for them. And then a wonderful counter from Vicolani. He's really got some power, and he wasn't too far off on having the pace to finish that.
Some changes of note here for Burnaby Lake. Ryan Ackerman is leaving us, who's had a remarkable game, to be replaced by Paul McFeely. And I believe Ryan McAllister is left to be replaced by Michael Goff.
Yeah, Ackerman's had a wonderful game. His carrying has been really top drawer.
Impressed with his foot speed for a man of that size. Advantage given on the play here. Asmus coming back to give the mark. Bit of pandemonium there after that line out. Theo Sauter is going to kick the touch here. Put it on top of the roof. We're going to have a line out right in front of us. Only about a 10-meter gain from that touch finder. Not the most productive, but they do maintain possession. UBC line out, 5-man line out. Sandover at the best at the top. Hamilton jumping to the back. He's let play continue. Sauter into Penny. Sorry, that was Charlie Thorpe. My apologies for UBC. Slow ball. Sandover Best pushing it through, trying to play flat behind. He's through. Stoller with another great football play, playing the ball off his boot into the hands of Andrew Coe. Soundly met by 2 defenders there, but UBC maintains possession. Hamilton out wide. It's gone through the hands. That's in the hands of Penny. Nick Allen on the wing. It's forwards against backs. Timler on the wing. Vicolani there to cover tackle. UBC maintains possession. Courtney there at scrum half. Releasing Sandover Best. Trying to play in the face of the defense. They maintain possession. They have numbers. Sauter trying to beat them inside. Keeps the ball alive to Sandover Best. Trying to keep the play, trying to offload, but in the tackle, loses control off the head of Doug Breeden.
UBC starting to find some confidence now. Some of those plays are starting to stick. Brock Stoller in space, finds a little gap in behind, it goes to hand. And if they can hold their shape and confidence and get their fair share of possession, they're starting to look dangerous probably for the first time in the game.
UBC with some changes. Looks like Nate Reese has joined the party here at outside center, replacing Ben Lesage. Jeff Ryan has come on I believe a fly half here as James Reeke's leaving out the one end of the field here for Burnaby Lake. So Jeff Ryan's in a fly half for Burnaby. Jeff Ryan's also been a former point scorer, or most point scorer for the CDI Premiership League in the past. So he's may see a little more success with the boot if Burnaby Lake can get into kicking distance. Scrum for Burnaby
very
Lake.
Important for, you know, they've, even with the pressure they've had in the second half, they haven't scored any points in this half. And they
Dominant scrum here from Burnaby Lake. Mr. Asmus is awarded the penalty. Good second shove from Burnaby Lake. They have UBC on the hind foot, penalty awarded.
I think that's going to be the story of the game for the rest of this match. I think Burnaby are going to squeeze the UBC lineouts and win penalties like that. And now
they put on some beefy replacements to increase the density of their scrums here. We're going to have a line out here for Burnaby Lake. Certainly been an entertaining game today. Both teams being able to stamp some authority and express themselves.
Yeah, no, it has. I mean, it's a great contest. It's been a great contest. There's been a lot of ambition out there. Maybe at times the execution hasn't been quite there on both sides, but very often that's how finals play out.
For sure.
And if Burnaby Lake can score next, we could have a very interesting final.
It would be interesting. Can't win if you don't score, though, Gabriel. Last time I checked rugby. Tough to win games if you don't score points. Burnaby Lake on the line out. Coming to the front, contested by Michael Toole by UBC, but Burnaby Lake is able to pull it off. Long pass, rocks into Ryan. Into Adam Timler, is going to run straight. Maintains possession, rocks it again, finds Ryan, trying to activate play in the hands of De La Salle. Got attackers and defenders running all over. Nate Reese is there with his scrum cap. You can see him just stuck to the ball like a Rottweiler. Big town hall in that mall. Not a lot of great body possession, but everyone wanted to be present.
Well, that's a great choke tackle from UBC on De La Salle. He's not the easiest guy to choke tackle, as you can imagine. He's a very powerful
He's elusive
guy. But they've managed to choke him and earn themselves a scrum. Looks like Callie Martinez is getting a pat on the head for it.
He's had a very active game today.
Yeah,
very active.
Particularly in defense, he's got great intensity about him. He's got great footwork. He's got a great body position. He's on that intensive interior, in the defensive interior. He's been very effective.
UBC scrum here. Burnaby Lake's going to put the shove on. Looking to disintegrate it. It's a free for all at the back, but UBC's been able to hold on to it. Good technical play there from the number 8, stick of the salad forks and that. Sound over best to Sauter. Switch play to Nate Reese, who's always been dangerous. Dangerous ball carrier. He's been injured here for the last little bit. He's just regaining form. What a game to make your comeback in. Penalty here against Burnaby Lake, off their feet at the tackle. Very dynamic, hard line around there by Nate Reese. Looks like he hasn't been missing any of the gym sessions this year either.
No, he's a big, powerful guy, and you see how the depth he's come from there. They've brought him in. They've decided to bring that aspect. I think, you know, he's a guy you could argue could start for them, but I think UBC opt to bring him into these games, these key games off the bench. They can change the dimension of their attack with him a little bit, and that's what they're trying to do there. And they've earned themselves a kick at goal, which will stretch it to 14 points.
It's a common theme here. UBC entering Burnaby Lake. They're able to score a try or score a penalty. Brock Stoller with another attempt, just outside the 22-meter line in front of the posts. Should be qualified as sitter. So important to win titles, to win championships, the effectiveness of having a good goal kicker.
No, absolutely. I mean, in a game like this, you just go back and you add up what would have happened if both teams kicked all their points. And right now, it would be 16-14.
It would be a 16-14 game.
And Burnaby have turned down a couple of kicks in the last 20 minutes as well.
Stoller with the boot. Absolutely pummels it through the post for another 3 points, bringing UBC Thunderbird score 19 to Burnaby Lake 5. In second half action here at Kalani Park for the CDI Premiership.
That's a big score at this moment in terms of the momentum of the game. They've pulled themselves 14 points. That's 2 converted tries, even to tie them. 3 scores for Burnaby to win now. Psychologically, in terms of momentum, that's a big deal now.
It's a big uphill battle. The dropout from Ryan kind of goes off the side of his foot. Was taken there by Michael Toole. Play continues. Long kick into the hands of Nolan Shelley. Counterattack to the left side. Yeah, that was generous from the referees to let play continue. That ball was forward. Big probing kick down into UBC territory, into the shadows now. Into the hands of Brock Stoller, who's going to toe punt it down the field. It rolls in front of De La Salle and finds touch on the far side.
Well, it just seems Brock Stoller's having one of those days with the boot. I mean, he didn't get that right at all, and he didn't kick that right at all. And at the same time, he's got a wonderful outcome. Line out Burnaby Lake on their own 10-meter line.
Is it a quality performance, Brock Stoller? Quality player. Burnaby Lake with the line out. Trying to make something happen here. They got to get the scoreboard ticking. Lino's gone in, but over the top again. Recovered by Courtney. Sanover Best pushing the edges to Theo Sauter's going to step inside of two defenders. He's got lots of numbers outside. He releases Nate Rees to the outside, who's going to score a try. Untouched.
Yeah, look, that's a really big moment. Theo Sauter, very multi-purpose player. He's playing at 10 today, but the guy can play wing, he can play fullback. He's got a dangerous line break in his own right, and that's what you've seen there. Show and go. He's cleaned through, and Nate Rees has showed up for the second touch, which is all it took.
Great vision played by Theo Sauter, and the pass outside to support at pace. Very well done. Textbook try scored by UBC. This is what they do so well. That'll take a bit of wind out of the sails out of Burnaby Lake, but there's still lots to play for. Burnaby Lake has played very, very well in this half. Just unfortunately hasn't had the points total to reflect it. Stoller's going to have another kick here for the conversion.
Yeah, you sense that try is going to give UBC a lot of relief. I think they've struggled to find their rhythm in this game, and that's in no small part
to the quality of the opposition.
Yeah, the pressure Burnaby have put on them, and they've definitely disrupted them and rattled them in this game. But that try, UBC, I think they're gonna be able to settle down a little bit more. They can play with a bit more confidence.
There's a bit of a bounce in their step as they were retreating back to receive the kickoff. Great kick up and through again. From my angle, it went through, but apparently I need to see an optometrist. The kick is not good.
I had that through the middle as well.
Okay, well, I'm glad.
There you go. Well, we're not linesmen.
For once, we're in a position to see something. 24-5 is the score. Jeff Ryan's going to drop the ball out here. I think they're going to change it up and play to the left-hand side. A spiral drop into the hands of O'Toole or Thorpe. I think it's Thorpe. Soundly met by two Burnaby Lake defenders. The troops arrive for UBC. Sanover Best just waiting for possession. Mr. Asmus going to blow a penalty here against UBC. They've come off of their feet at the breakdown. Roxon's trying to amplify play, but he hasn't played off the mark. We're going to come back. It's going to be Burnaby Lake penalty here. Inside the UBC half. Ryan's going to push it down the touchline. Well into the shadows there. The players will enjoy playing in the shadows there. It's probably nice and cool.
So it's a lovely touch find. They got themselves right up the 5-meter line. And
great aggressive kick.
Burnaby just have to convert now. They simply have to.
Interesting to see. Both teams not having a lot of success at the back of the line out. Old school front or middle would be the place to play here. Good two-handed take from McLaughlin. Goff there to recover. The drive is on. The gnarly vets are going to be there and try to work their way around the outside. Should have stayed in traffic, but now they're released quickly there. I think that's McFeely. Plays both prop and second row. Gavorchin on the rampage there, trying to get to the try line. Held up. Great passage of play from Burnaby Lake, but unfortunately held up there. Two UBC defenders between the ball and the ground.
Yeah, that's exactly what they're good at, straight off the line. Interesting to see UBC actually challenging that line out, although they're on their own line. Yeah. I think that's a reflection of how the throwing has been going this afternoon.
Great tactical choice from Burnaby Lake, taking that ball in the line out, though. In the middle, uncontested, two-hand clean.
Yeah, they got the drive on, and then they got the little roll forward. A little bit unlucky not to score, but they're still here.
Be interested to see what Vicalani can pull off at the base of this scrum, provided Burnaby Lake gives a solid platform.
I think they might keep this one, Mike, and try and go all the way.
They might. Here we go for the pushover try. Body positions held flat. Burnaby Lake still advancing. Ball controlled at the back by Vicalani. They're right on the try line. Is that a try given or a penalty? Try given to Burnaby Lake. Pushover scrum, 5 meters out. Second half action. Jeff Ryan's going to try and put this between the posts quickly. They're going to up the pace here. Time is not their friend, Burnaby Lake. That'll bring the score up here to 24-10. There's still lots to play for here. Jeff Ryan puts a ball up, and it's through.
Yeah, that gives Burnaby Lake a sniff. It's a pity about that previous 5-minute spell where UBC got 10 points in the space of 3 or 4 minutes, but it's now
24-12.
They've now got it back to a 12-point game.
It's a 12-point game, and geez, you think about the 9 points left on the table.
Yeah, absolutely.
But that's how it rolls in the rugby. UBC a little slow to restart the game here. Obviously, they know they've got the advantage of time and score. Long dropout coming here from Theo Sauter, well into the 22. Marsden is going to let the ball bounce in front of him. He's in the shadow of play there, but a long probing left-footed kick down the field. Recovered by Kulkan, who's going to go straight up the line. Counterattack, try to be the first defender. He is tackled. 2 defenders there. UBC will be under pressure, that breakdown. Almost a counter ruck, almost worked. Sauter's trying to replicate the magic he did earlier there, but he is tackled. Lots of bodies still on the ground on the left-hand side. UBC's got both options. Connor Hamilton's going to take this ball and put it to play. Very Zinzan Brookish. Into the hands of Nolan Shelley. He's able to step inside of Brock Stalin. Can he release the ball to the outside? Ball's gone to deck. It's going to be chaos there in the panic in the disco if UBC can get away with their hands on the ball. Bit of broken play, not very cohesive, but we have an initial knock-on from UBC. It's going to be a scrum here for Burnaby Lake. We do have an injured body here on the ground. Is that could be Cody Roxon? He's going to walk it off here.
Yeah, it looks like it's not too serious, and he's had a good game. His service has been excellent. He's got a lovely pass off both hands. He's
originally from the Langley Rugby Club, Roxon. This old man is a legend out there in the rugby club. Second-generation rugby player. Maybe more. We're gonna have another big scrum here. Burnaby Lake is going to want to put UBC to the sword, just to get the ball back and get some momentum.
difficult decision here for Burnaby. You can see UBC's backline defending up flat. They're trying to invite Burnaby to kick in behind, but maybe it's better for Burnaby to keep the ball in this situation.
Burnaby Lake trying to power through in the second shove. They are starting to push back UBC, but we're going to put the ball in play. Ryan did goody. Step inside the defenders. Fijian sidestep, soundly tackled. Mackay Penny took goody right on the full. Good, proper textbook tackle. Goody penalized for Burnaby Lake, penalized for not releasing the ball. Good penalty here for UBC. UBC still playing with confidence. That was a very sound textbook tackle from Mackay Penny, UBC number 6.
Yeah, good early work at the breakdown. And the critical thing is the body shape of Goody when he fell, and he fell in a compromised position, which then allowed the teammates to take the opportunity for the steal.
He sent in the sauce on that one. So UBC is going to opt for another shot at goal here. Brock Stoller ahead on the board of the scoreboard here. UBC, they're just going to play the clock out, take their points, play wise. About 38 meters out and well left of the post here. About 6 meters in from the touchline. Score currently is 24-12, UBC over Burnaby Lake. The kick went wide. 2 recent misses there for Brock Stoller. He's carrying a bit of a limp here. It's been a long season. Jeff Ryan's got his hands on the ball, looking to restart passage of play. Short dropout just over the 22. Aiming for, I think it was Paul McFeely, but UBC is there. Ball's on the ground, and UBC has recovered. Nobody present there to pick it up. Jeff Ryan trying to put his mitts on it, but Nate Reese picks up the ball, goes to short side. He's soundly tackled. Sanover Best trying to extract this. In the hands of James Thompson to Theo Sauter and second receiver. He's trying to slip through again. He is caught in the cross cover. He's had a very crafty afternoon. UBC number 10. Sound over best to Thorpe. Runs into De La Salle. Stoller there to clean him out like a back row forward. Ball is wide open and free. He's coming in from the side, though. There's a penalty here called. Going to come back to the point of infraction.
Yeah, the game getting very scrappy and around the breakdown now on a couple of occasions, and playing very much into UBC's hands. They're not the ones who need to keep ticking over the scoreboard. They just need to sit in and wait the game out. And even so, they've got another kick a go with Brock Stoller to have a shot and pull it to 27-12. I don't expect him to miss 3 in a row.
I'd be surprised. But I mean, UBC's in a position of abundance right now. They've got control of the score, control of the play. Just letting the ticker tick by. Burnaby Lake frustrated and trying to do their best to get ahead, but they've got to paint themselves into a corner here. But they've played very admirably as well today. Stoller with an attempt about 25 meters out. That one's up. I can't tell for the life of me, and that one's through.
I think it's just about inside the left post.
He's pummeling those Japanese maple trees in the end zone with the balls, so there's going to be a lot of hurt branches today. That brings the score up to 27-12 for UBC.
Yeah, this is a tough position for Burnaby Lake. They dominated an awful lot of the first half. In terms of outcomes and territory and possession, they were very much in control of this game for a period, although they never got themselves into the lead, and that was the key thing. And I think there's only so long you can go on with dominating a game without taking the lead on the scoreboard.
Great replay by Marsden there. Sorry, just kicking through for Nolan Shelley. It's picked up and knocked in a touch. No, I totally agree. I mean, it's, you know, when you leave those points on the off the table,
it slowly
leave them on the
starts
table.
It
eats into your momentum, your psychology. It also puts wins in the sails of the opposition. Very tough to, when you dominate, not score. It's a frustrating experience. We're going to have a scrum here for Burnaby Lake. Interesting passage of play from that kick there. Gareth Marsden with a good release for Nolan Shelley. Tried to play again off his foot, but was countered. Burnaby Lake scrum in the shadows here on the left-hand side. Ball's introduced, the shove comes on. They've got a good loose head nudge there. Anthony Luca's just getting the nudge on his opposition, straightening it up now. Vicolani with the ball at the back. Mr. Asmus has called the penalty quickly. Vicolani opts to choose to play quickly here. Off his feet, but he's tackled, goes to deck very, very early. Gavorchin into Nakai Penny. Roxon to Ryan. Out wide to Goody Goody. It's got Dillis out deep. Shelley in reserve. Coming to the blind side, Roxon to Luca. Slow passage of play, but the ball's gone to deck here. The forwards just trying to keep it tight. I think that's McFeely. It's been returned on defense in the hands of Vicolani. Made about a meter. Roxon out to Ryan again. UBC present out wide. There's no space outside, but Nolan Shelley trying to cut in, tackled by Hamilton. Not a lot of numbers down the blind side. They're persisting. Marsden back inside to Batty. Trying to make it dynamic, but he's tackled. They got to come to the open side. There's no more options down the blind. Jeff Ryan's with the show and go. Tackled by Callie Martinez. Roxon. McFeely, Goody. Steps off one defender, runs into 3, does go to the deck. Presents, but it's picked up by James Thompson. Totally open and free ball. In the dying minutes here of the second half. Brock Stoller with a kick. Big, long torpedo kick. Good take running backwards from Adam Timler. On the counter, moves it to Nolan Shelley. Ball's gone to ground. Not the hand, but 2-on-1. Marsden, bit of space, releases Shelley again. Out to De La Salle. Trying to shake and bake, but it looks like he's been tackled. Burnaby Lake looking a little tired here, not moving so quickly to replace themselves. In the hands of Luca, their fearless leader. Back inside, hasn't gone to hand. Penalty here given to UBC. From an intentional knock, it looks like.
Yeah, it looks like it. It's a little tough. We're starting to see the bit of that rhythm that we saw in the first half from Burnaby Lake. You said the bodies are a little bit more tired. Things are a little bit more difficult. The gap on the scoreboard is a little bit bigger. And a very valiant effort, but it's ended up in the UBC penalty, which is a tough break for Burnaby.
UBC's been asking the ref how much time is left. We're down to the waning minutes here. Single digits. We got Cody Roxon leaving the field after a very good game today. He'll be replaced by Rain de Guzman, UBC alumni. UBC with the throw in. They haven't been super organized in the lineup today. To the front, Charlie Thorpe, that is. UBC's going to take the play back to Burnaby Lake. They're going to drive him in the forwards. Burnaby Lake caught asleep at the wheel here. Sound over best to Sauter. Passage of play to Colcan, who comes in off his blind wing. He's active. Look how dynamic he is. One-handed release to Coe, who can't hold on. Bit bobbled here with some tired bodies. Good intentions, but a UBC knock on.
Nice deep lines from Colcan and Coe, just not staying to hand.
Very dynamic, Colcan. When he picks up that ball, he's dynamic. He's a little energizer, but he just gets those legs a pumping. We're gonna have a scrum here for Burnaby Lake in their own end. Long distance from the try line. Good scrum. It's like pushing back the machine. Ryan to Goody out wide to Marsden. Can he get outside the defense? He can. He's in between Nate Reese and Colcan. Kicks it up to himself. He's able to recover it. Ball stripped or not held on. Coe releases it into the freeway. Asmus blows the final whistle, and UBC is the winner. Your 2016 champion of the CDI Premiership of the UBC Thunderbirds over Burnaby Lake Rugby Club, 27-12. A justified result, Gabriel.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I'm very impressed with both teams. I think Burnaby controlled the game for a long period, but as we've said on a number of occasions, I think being able to execute when it matters, execute points when it matters, that was really what it came down to. And I would go back to a crucial spell, maybe 10-12 minutes after halftime, where UBC scored 10 points in about 3 or 4 minutes, and I think that was the momentum shift that really took the wind out of Burnaby. And yeah, if for nothing else but being able to execute when it matters, I think UBC probably deserved to win it.
Yeah, they've been the Forum Team of the Year that went undefeated this year, I believe, UBC. Burnaby Lake, nothing to be ashamed of their efforts, to be regretting the missed points and what could have been, coulda, woulda, shoulda, as we discussed earlier, but a great performance at a great final this year at Klahani Park. I want to thank you, our refs, Chris Asmus, Jivan Dhaliwal, Dave Smorchevsky. Thank you to our viewing audience. Thank you to BC Rugby. Gabriel, thank you very much. Hope we haven't scared you off. We'll do it again.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Have a great day out there, everyone, and congratulations to all the finalists and winners this year at our BC Rugby Finals Day at McDonald Park. And here at Klahani, we bid you farewell.